Hey, hello everybody out there in VC land, VCers, YouTubers. Tony back. Tony's LPs are us. Going to do a fun segment today. I think it's one of my 2024 vinyl tags. I see a lot of folks in the VC community showing their Grail records, things they want as a Grail record. Why is this Grail record worth so much? There's numerous Grail records, and I always enjoy looking at them, because what's a Grail to you may not be a Grail to me, because I always look at Grails as not only monetary value or rarity, but if it's a Grail that you really want and for some reason you haven't found it yet, or it's that rare or it's that expensive that you haven't gotten one yet. But don't give up, because one day you'll find that Grail either at a thrift shop. Well, probably not a thrift shop anymore, because the thrift shop people in the back room are known to know what the Grails are. But you may find it at a yard sale, at a flea market. Someone may give you a Grail. When people find out that you're a collector, your family and friends, they may give you, a loved one's record collection. There may be a Grail in there. It may be a Grail for you. It may be a Grail in the vinyl community. So this vinyl tag is very simple. Show up to 4 Grails in your collection on vinyl. And then for question number 2, or response number 2, tell us about a Grail that you're looking for and the Grail that you are, hoping that one day you're able to obtain for your collection. So it's basically 2 responses. Show us up to 4 Grails that you have. And it could be a Grail for any reason. It could be a Grail for rarity. Like I said, it could be a Grail for monetary value. It could be $1,000 Grail, a $5,000 Grail, or it's just a Grail for you. My Grails are Grails that I want. The money aspect is not a big deal. It's nice that you have a nice expensive Grail that you're able to have in your collection, but it's not the factor that I look for. It's a Grail that, wow, I found this Grail finally and I have it now. It's just another thing as a collector. So I'm going to start off with this one, Elvis Presley. And as you know, the Clash copied this design on one of the Clash records. Now, this is a Grail for me. It's not a first press, but it's an early press, and I'll show you the back. Here's the original inner that came with the record, an RCA. And on the back, you could see, now you may not be able to pick this up, but on the back, it has all the indications of a first pressing from the jacket. Now, the jacket is a first pressing, I believe. It has a pale Elvis. It has a kind of pale green. If it's too bright, then it's not an original. But what I learned on these is from the dead wax. I have the stamp dead wax, but it's off the last number. It's a 19 rather than a 11 or A1. It's A9. And on this particular record, for a first pressing, track 6 on side 1, Just Because, the original first press has public domain. This actually has the artist's name in it, so it's a redone. It's Bob Sheldon, Joe Sheldon, Sid, Robin. But it does have a lot of accoutrements. It has the Camden, New Jersey around the perimeter on the vinyl. So it's a close early pressing. Could be a second pressing, could be a third pressing. But for me, it's a Grail. And one day I'll find that first pressing if the price is right, or if I get lucky. Don't forget, this record's from 1956. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a Grail that's not too uncommon. There's probably hundreds of thousands of them out there. But as you all know, Street Survivors, this cover was actually replaced with this as a full cover when the unfortunate tragedy where the Skinner plane crashed and the majority of the members passed away. So I'll show you the actual inner. This is in near mint condition. As you can see, it's a cutout. I believe I bought this at a record store as a cutout. I have another that I bought at art sale. So here you have, this was with it. And you have a memorabilia sheet with it. And then here's the label. So for me, this is a Grail. Very happy to have it in my collection. Street Survivors. Here's a great Grail that I'm really, really happy to have because it's not only a Grail, but it's one of the best sounding records I have, and definitely one of the best sounding Zeppelin records I have. And you all know what I'm talking about. Is a Robert Ludwig Led Zeppelin. This is Sterling Studios, Robert Ludwig, both sides in the dead wax. And I talked about this on one of my earlier videos. There it is. This is in PG condition. There has surface scuffs and hairlines. Nothing atrocious, but it sounds VG plus, and that's it right there. So I'm not going to attempt to show the RL, but it's RL, and I talked about this on an earlier video. My last one I'm showing up, like I said, up to 4, is a holy grail for a lot of folks. It's not necessarily a holy grail for me, but it's a holy grail I acquired. And I found this at a yard sale in a local town about 2 years ago. And it's a Techno Cascade. This is a limited edition. I believe there were 1,000. This is 0192. And this is near mint. It's a 4-record collection. It has the slipcase in here. Here's the spine. Now, if you watched last week's Super Bowl, Chiefs-Niners on Sunday, Cascade actually entertained some of the folks before the game in Vegas. Cascade is a huge techno guy. I didn't really know much about him. This record's from 2011, and if you go on eBay, you'll know why I'm saying this is a Grail. So this is a Grail that I did not know it was a Grail until I got home and I looked it up. I just happened to pick it up. It was with a bunch of other records. The fellow came out of his basement, said I got some more things. I originally thought that this was a triple record. It's actually 4 records. Let me just show you here. Right there. Here's one of the labels. Ice. Cascade Ice. And that's a Grail I did not know about. And you may find Grails like that when you buy a collection or buy a box of records at a yard sale. So you never know. You may just, what I'll do is I'll go through a box. If I see there's quite a bit in there that I want, I'll try to get the best price possible. I'll say, look, I'll take the whole box or whatever. How much do you want for all of them? Because it's actually, I think, more productive than to go through each record and maybe pick out, say, 10 out of 15 or 20 out of 25. You're always going to find there's a few clunkers in there, but the Grails that you find, or the rare ones that you find, what make it all worthwhile. So that's my technique. Now, the next response is to you, if you do this tag, and I hope you do, is what Grail have you been looking for? I've been collecting records for 60 years, maybe more. No, check that. Yeah, at least 55 years. I've been collecting records, and I never come across one of these in a while. I'm not going to buy one because it's beyond my price range. I wouldn't do it. I should have did it 10 years ago. And that's this record. I'm just going to show you this record. You all know what this is, yesterday and today. And we all know that underneath some of these are the butcher cover. When the Beatles decided to, maybe get back at Capitol, we don't, there's folklore that they put those smocks on and had to cut up dolls with meat as a reason to, get back at Capitol for butchering the Beatles albums from the UK. We all know that story. This is a Grail. I have a reissue that Big John got me. I remember we went to a record convention and I wasn't going to buy it, and he got me one for Christmas. So that's the cover. This is a poor scan of it, but this is something I have. It's cool. And I also printed out the letter from Capitol that went to the record store owners that indicated because of maybe matters beyond their control, they're going to pull this record and we'll replace it with what you have with the cover. And I'll just paraphrase this. It says the original cover created in England was intended as pop art satire. However, a sampling of public opinion in the United States indicated that the cover design is subject to misinterpretation. I would think so. For this reason, and to avoid any possible controversy or undeserved harm to the Beatles' image or reputation, Capitol has chosen to withdraw the LP and substitute a more generally accepted design. So there you have it. And it's the end of my tag. It's simple. 2 responses. Show up to 4 Grails in your collection. Could be for any reason. It's a Grail because it's a Grail for you. Could be a Grail for monetary reasons, like I said, or rarity. And then as a second response, just tell us what Grail you've been looking for and maybe how long you've been looking for it. Okay, so that's about it. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, we would really love to have a subscription in your name. So thanks again. Keep rocking. And please, if you're not going to do a video, a vinyl tag video, please leave some of your responses in my comments. I would love to see what they are. And everyone who watches these videos would also love to see that. So thanks again. Stay safe and keep rocking. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.